Namamsi. I'm sure you all want to win over others in arguments and debates that keep happening in life. This is such an important aspect of our lives that we have been overlooking. Debates and arguments happen between the husband and the wife, between parents and children, between teacher and student, between the boss and the subordinate, happens between a customer and shopkeeper, and of course happens to a large extent in the courts and also in TV news channels. Debates and arguments are an integral part of our life. Yet we do not know the right way of debating. But ancient Indians, as I always say, were very keen observers, sukshma darshinaha. Unlike us, the modern people, they did not overlook the importance of debating. They developed the art and science of vada, debating. If you understand the Indic art and science of debating, your stressful arguments will be transformed to meaningful debating that will be beneficial to both the parties. Do you want your arguments to end up in misunderstandings, or do you want your arguments to benefit you? I'm sure we all want to benefit from arguing. Nobody likes to spoil relationships due to arguing. So please watch this video till the end. You will benefit a lot. Your arguments will start becoming more fruitful. And if more and more people start reviving this art and science of Vada, our news channels will be more peaceful and productive, bringing in good ideas rather than shouting at each other and concluding nothing. The comment sections in YouTube and Twitter and Instagram will be filled with more meaningful comments. Somehow the viewers of my channel have always been putting very productive comments. I am very grateful to all the viewers of my channel for this. Before going into the main subject, I want to let you all know that in Sanskrit language we have this kind of extremely useful knowledge. I am sure you all would never have imagined that ancient Indians had developed the art and science of debating. Not just this. There is a wealth of such useful knowledge in Sanskrit that will benefit the modern world. For example, there is Vrikshayurveda, which is the science of medicines for plants and trees. There is Shilpa Shastra, which is sculptry. There is science of painting and color combinations. There is, of course, math, science and all that too. So much of such knowledge needs to be brought out for the benefit of all. And to do that, we need more and more experts from various fields of knowledge to explore them. And Sanskrit is the key to open this treasure box of knowledge. So if you want to learn Sanskrit, then I am starting the next Prarambhaha course now. Please visit the link prarambhaha.tattvam.org for more details and enrollment. And also share it with interested people. I will also leave the link in the description and pinned comments. Coming back to the art and science of Vada. Nowadays, debating and arguing is considered bad. I have seen parents shouting at their kids, "Don't argue." But do you know how important it is to argue and debate? There is a Sanskrit proverb which says, "Vade vade jayate tattvabodhaha," which means only through debating or opposing views we can understand the actuality, the truth. How do you think ancient Indians had deep intellectual as well as deep spiritual knowledge? Because ancient Indians believed that the depth of thought can be acquired only when we are exposed to various other ways of thinking. There are two approaches in any given situation. First approach is I know everything kind of attitude. Here the person thinks my viewpoint is the only correct viewpoint. The person is very rigid about his viewpoint. There is no openness to other ideas. Nowadays most people are in this mindset. I have seen many teachers who cannot accept if the student asks a question that exposes the mistake of the teacher. How many of you have had such experiences? Comment below. The second approach is I can also learn from your approach kind of attitude. This happens through dialogues, by listening to the views which are very different from yours and then accepting or refuting them very logically so that it convinces you and also the opponent if you want to. Logic plays a very important role here. Right from the Vedic period, this kind of dialogues and debates were encouraged. We find this vada, that is debating, in so many shastras. In Charaka Samhita, which is an Ayurvedic text, you will find Vada, that is debates. A doctor must argue with other doctors in order to get the concepts more clearly. Similarly, you will find Vada in Vedanta texts too. If you look at the commentaries written by Adi Shankaracharya or any other person, you will see the mentioning of the opposing views and then giving extremely logical clarifications to those views. Knowledge of Tarkashastra is very important here. Tarkashastra is the Indic science of logic and reasoning. Bhartrihari, a famous Sanskrit poet, says this: Prajna vivekam labhate bhinnai ragama darshanai kuto va shakyam unnetum swatarkam anudhavata. Meaning, one gets knowledge and wisdom by seeing other viewpoints. In the second line he says, how is it possible to grow up by only running behind your own logic? This was the kind of open-mindedness that Indians had before. But nowadays I see that it is totally lost. We are lost in the thought that only our ideas are great. We are not open to even listening to other viewpoints. It is okay to be happy with your practices and sticking to them if they are benefiting you. But having a fixed opinion that only my viewpoint is the correct viewpoint, it just kills our growth and development. In fact, in the Bhagavad Gita also Lord Krishna says, Vadaha pravadatam aham, meaning of all kinds of talks, I am Vada. This shows the importance of debating. Now we have to understand the right way of debating. Debating that we see in TV news channels is not the right kind of debating. If we all learn the right way, and also if kids are taught the right way to debate, then we all will flourish. Why do we need to encourage proper debating which is backed by proper logic and reasoning? It is important because it develops better scientific temperament, develops better reasoning abilities, helps us learn how to validate what we know, helps us satisfy our opponents with proper reasoning, has the potential to change the course of action in our life for the better. And also it develops decision making ability. Now let us see the different types of debates mentioned in Nyaya Shastra. First type of debate is Vadaha. What is the objective of having a Vada? It is Tattva Nirnayam, meaning the objective is to understand the actuality. The point to be noted here is the objective of the Vada is not to win in the debate. The objective is to understand the truth. So in Charaka Samhita we find Vada. Doctors debate among themselves to understand the reality better. In Vedanta Shastra, you take up any commentary, you will find Vada in it. The point of view of the opponent is taken up first. It is called Purva Paksha. Then the proponent clearly states his points in a very logical manner. This is called Uttara Paksha. Then if the opponent is not satisfied, he will raise another point which opposes the view of the proponent. This goes on until both the parties come to a conclusion. In the Vada, at the end, one party would be ready to give up his opinions on the subject and accept the opinions of his opponent if he is convinced. There is absolutely no ego here. The debate that happened between Adi Shankaracharya and Mandana Mishra was of this type. It was a Vada. For those of you who do not know, I will very quickly tell this interesting story which is very relevant to what I am telling now. Mandana Mishra was a great scholar of Purva Mimamsa, and so he was a proponent of Vedic karmas. That is, he emphasized on performing Vedic rituals. Mandana Mishra lived in a village named Mahishi. Adi Shankaracharya came to this village to have a Vada with Mandana Mishra. You can imagine how great a scholar Mandana Mishra was. Adi Shankaracharya came searching for him to have a debate with him. When Adi Shankaracharya reached the village, he asked some village people there, where is Mandana Mishra's house? The villagers told him that nearby you will find a house. In front of the house there will be parrots in a cage which will be discussing topics like, do Vedas have self-validity? Or do they need to be validated by some external authority? Will the result of karma come on their own, or should God intervene in it? is this world a reality or just Maya? Where you find this parrots sitting in a cage and discussing all these topics, know that that is the house of Mandana Mishra. So even the parrots were discussing such deep topics in his house. Shankaracharya goes there, and now before starting the debate, they have to find a judge. Shankaracharya himself chooses the wife of Mandana Mishra, Ubhaya Bharati, as the judge. So again we see there were women scholars. You can imagine how learned Ubhaya Bharati would have been to judge the debate of these two great scholars. The debate between Shankaracharya and Mandana Mishra went on for 6 months. In the end, Mandana Mishra is convinced with Advaita Vedanta thought process of Shankaracharya. So Mandana Mishra himself becomes an Advaitin and a student of Shankaracharya. He then becomes known as Sureshwaracharya. Such is the magnanimous mindset of such great scholars. Now we shall see the second type of debate. This is called Jalpaha. Here the objective is Vijigisha, meaning the desire to win. Typically, the argument happening between two lawyers in a court is Jalpaha because the objective there is to win. And the third type of debate, which is considered a very inferior one, is called Vitanda. Here the person does not disclose his standpoint, or sometimes he doesn't even have a standpoint. The objective here is to just disprove others' viewpoint, just trying to find fault in others. How I am personally using this knowledge in my life is, I have educated my close family members about these types of arguments. Whenever one of us goes to the point of just trying to disprove the other, then one of us will realize and mention that this is Vitanda. And sometimes when we have different opinions on a very important life decision and arguments start between the family members, then my family members usually feel guilty of arguing and they try to avoid such arguments. During those times, I keep saying Vade Vade Jayate Tattva Bodhaha, the same famous Sanskrit proverb that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. It means only by debating and bringing in opposing views, we will be able to understand the right thing. This has definitely helped us make very good decisions. You too can use this in your lives by educating your family members about these types of arguments. Even kids can be educated about this. In the next video, I will discuss further on this topic as to with whom you should get into debating and also how to defeat the other person in the debate. And would you like to see an example of Vada in Shankaracharya's commentary? If yes, let me know and I will include it in the next video. If many people think it will be too heavy, then I will not include. And also, if you like this video, then type in the comments Vade Vade Jayate Tattva Bodhaha, meaning only by having Vada can we understand the truth. Do subscribe to my channel if you want to improve your communication skills by understanding the Indic art and science of Vada, because I will be posting more in the next video. And do share it with as many people as possible. It will definitely help in promoting healthy arguments rather than having arguments leading to fights. And do click the like button. It will help in taking this video to many people. Agrime chitre melitasmi namo namaha.
Thank you.